Welcome back, guys, to Trails Through Daybreak, our last episode. Pushing on into the Institute, we started clearing out the remaining Archaisms attacking Basel before reaching the observatory, stepping over the injured Blanca to confront Melchior and Olympia. With Oct-Geneses plugged into Aurora, the main terminal managing the orbital net, we engaged the two Garden Overseers in battle, but this gave time for the emergence program to execute, revealing that Callahan had become an AI as our enemies decided to retreat, but not without booby-trapping the terminal, as Katra rushed forward to attempt to save the device, leading to Risette jumping in to save him and being consumed in the explosion. The entire city is locked down. Who could have seen this coming? What's going to happen to us? I hope Agnès is okay. Ren too. All we can do is wait for them to get in touch. Sorry, but what the hell is with that massive airship?
I apologize for our sudden arrival during the frenzied events of yesterday. To start this off, I am General Manager of Marduk Total Security Company, Gilliam Thorndyke. This is our Chief of Security, Qasim Al-Fayed.
A pleasure to meet you all.
Al-Fayed? Is he? No doubt about it.
I was not expecting you to travel all the way to Basel, but it is an honor to meet you all the same. I've heard many a rumor about how shrewd a manager you are, Mr. Thorndyke. Together with your Chief of Security's combat exploits.
You make me blush, Your Highness.
I am humbled by your words.
I arrived in my home country a few days ago, so I'm afraid I'm not up to date on all the latest developments. But am I to understand that Marduk will be responsible for securing the city of Basel for the remainder of the day?
That is correct. Off the record, a presidential executive order was issued yesterday to that effect. A CID Special Ops unit will be arriving in the city this evening. Marduk's task will be to secure key facilities in Basel until they are ready.
A special ops unit. Sending in Hercules, huh? Wouldn't shock me if you belonged to him too, miss. You're very astute.
We've also brought one of the Ix-Alba series of airships that we're currently testing on behalf of the Republican Army. Said airship will allow us to ensure the integrity of the orbital network.
Which is how we're able to have this conversation, I suppose. Your concierge isn't the only way you've gotten your hooks into Basel, I see.
Our goals on this particular occasion are simply to protect this city and its orbital network. Rest assured that much like your country, we have no intention of getting too deeply involved in Basel's affairs.
That is our stance as well. We are only doing what we consider necessary. Very well, I will take your word on that for now. Quelling the chaos unfolding before us clearly does come first. However, given our stake in Vern in connection to the Institute, this current state of affairs is of grave concern to us. You have a lot to answer for here as CEO, Mr. Townsend. Please, if I may defend myself, I never could have seen this coming.
There is some merit to that argument, but it also leaves out a number of key facts. You are to see that shareholders' Mira is used to generate a profit, and yet you covered up a huge potential problem for over a month. We confirmed last night that it wasn't just Almada's money being used for ill. Elsyme's investments were also misappropriated. And if these are the result of you turning a blind eye to Professor Callahan's behavior all this time...
You keep your mouth shut! Just who do you think you are? Who gave you the right to speak? I don't care if you are student council president at Oramus. This is none of your...
I am here as a special advisor for Liberal's ZCF. I also serve as a negotiator representing the Epstein Foundation. In other words, I'm here to speak up against anything that threatens their interests, which this has. Now, do I have the right to speak?
Ren. Now that's a dramatic twist straight out of a play. I've heard rumors swirling about you, but I never expected you to show up here. Still, she's right. We aren't the only shareholder that will be concerned by this. Other related companies will be as well. I hope you don't need me to spell out exactly what kind of a situation you're in here. But...
When will you grow a damn spine? Look, the danger here isn't over. Anyone can see that. And you still intend to do nothing after what happened to Callahan? Professor Hamilton left you in charge of Vern, of Basel. Don't you feel any shame?
In any event, we now have half a day before the cogs start turning again. Even if we do nothing, the Calvardian government will see to it that matters are resolved. But knowing how egregiously my country's funds have been misused, I refuse to stand by and do nothing. So, Arkride Solutions. Might I enlist your services for the remainder of the day? Of course, you can approach the task in whatever way best suits you, just as you did in Tharbad and have done many times before. My only true wish is that you put a stop to all modest plans before they can bear fruit. Does this sound doable?
We'll be well compensated for this, I trust?
After the conference...
Qasim, why?
It's been some time, Farida.
I suspected you two were related. Your brother, right? Never expected him to be one of Marduk's hunting dogs.
I hear you've been taking good care of my sister, Arkride Solutions. As for you, Van, it's been 2 years, I believe? I understand you've greatly improved your use of the stun caliber and your martial arts. Risette mentioned as much. As your former instructor, that fills me with great pride.
I tried. Still not so hot with the tactics stuff you taught me, though. I've heard all kinds of stories about you too, but I never expected our first meeting to be like this.
In that, we are agreed. Still, while we might be providing our services and your weapon, I believe the contract between us to be an equal one. I hope that we can continue our fine partnership, Mr. Arkride.
Yeah, let's not get too friendly. I'm not interested in becoming any more than just a contractor to you. Still, since we're here, there is one thing I want to ask. Just how long has she been like that?
Information on our concierge is classified, I'm afraid. However, if an approximate time frame will suffice, I suppose I can oblige. About a year ago.
Something seemed off about her all this time. We first started talking 3 years ago, but the first time we actually met was just in Tharbad. Even when I visited Ored for lessons on tactics, she was conveniently unavailable. That sounds like... Does that mean...
Still, I know she's in good hands with Associate Professor Archett. I also happen to bring some compatible parts that she can use. Though I regret that Ms. Twinings will not be able to provide you with any more of her services for the time being.
You ain't got nothing to apologize for. Doubt any amount of workers' comp I could give her would make up for forcing her to do something that crazy. But either way, that's my problem to deal with, not yours.
Well, I apologize for meddling in your affairs then. With that said, we must take our leave. We've negotiations with the Republican Army to attend to. As I mentioned during the conference, we've no intention of interfering in this crisis any more than is necessary. Fascinated though I am by what a genius can achieve through an obsession that knows no bounds.
Cousin, wait!
There are a number of matters Abi and I disagree on. Whether you are suited to being a warrior is very much one of them. Still, I can only assume it was the guidance of the flames and Arusha that led you here. Battle is almost upon us, and I will be watching to see how you fare through it.
Fairy.
As much as I'd love to write him off as an arrogant asshole, I can't get enough of a read on him. Just how tough is he?
I'd say he's one of the strongest Jaegers who ever lived.
Your conversation is over then? Ren, where are the others? They're still here. There was talk of them returning to the capital, but that's not going to be possible now with the whole area on lockdown. The roads, the railways, even the airspace around Edith is sectioned off. Not that that comes as any surprise after what happened. What do you mean? What happened now? There was an explosion in Ankerville City. There were no casualties, fortunately, but we suspect that Almata might have been involved. Ankerville's a decent-sized city north of the capital, right? Yeah, that must have just been a diversion, while this is their real target. Oh, I think that's almost certain. However, given its proximity to the capital, we can't afford to take it lightly. Both the CID and the Guild are being pushed to their limit right now. We won't be able to give you any backup. That's fine, we weren't expecting any to begin with. But you can at least share whatever info you managed to gather, surely. That goes for stuff from ZCF and the Foundation too. That sounds fair to me, insofar as our interests align, of course. I'll also do what I can. Just take care of Agnès for me in return, please. Thank you, Ren. I hear the initial work is done on your concierge too. That's Professor Hamilton's family for you. Genesis to the last. Oh! Thanks for telling us. That's so good to hear. She was being seen to in Associate Professor Esmere's room, wasn't she? Let's go say hi then. Oh, that was a big story segment. And a day ended as well. We're on a different day now, right? I'm not even sure. It's so crazy now. Okay. With the Risette thing, not really left field. As soon as we were on the aerotram and she was mentioning like, oh, it's nice to see the world and all that. And then she was like, yes, it's like, okay, so you're dropping a hint that she's not been out and about, despite the fact that she's incredibly proficient, etc. and thingy, which doesn't make much sense to begin with. So then, suspicion was coming on. Like, okay, something's going on. Then, of course, when booting up for this stream session, it had Risette on the title screen, which was like, okay, it's Risette o'clock. We're going to learn more about Risette today. Even with, like, the aerotram stuff already had me going, because it almost made it sound like she wasn't necessarily, like, human-ish back then, I thought, on the aerotram. And now we find out what's going on. So she might have been without, not able to move away in the way that she is now for years leading up to being a concierge and coming out to assist us. By the sound of things, we don't know. We'll get more information on that maybe when we visit her or if she cares to share. Then the funny thing happened with the whole Professor Callahan thing. I was like, okay, I think the using a nuclear bomb is a bit more sane than my other thought about the discarding of the body, which I honestly went in my head. Maybe they're just uploading his brain to something to like use it as a in a supercomputer, because that's usually quite a sci-fi-ish plot line. And I went, nah, I won't say that because that just sounds really dumb. And then like just an hour later, oh, he's been evolved to a supercomputer. He's an AI now. I was like, haha. So I did generally think along that line with it. I just thought, no, a nuclear bomb being put into Basel makes way more sense than that. That seems a bit more left field. It would be cool though. I mean, they did dispose of him incredibly easy, despite the fact they seem to need him. So that was hilarious when that actually happened in my mind. I was like, oh, the dumbass thing, actually, left field thing, actually was more right. But yes, I do love how they, of course, like they slightly layer things in and plot things in. Of course, if you're gonna like try to like redo that crossbell, it was a random act of AIs, etc., computers becoming alive to make that entity. So what's the easiest way to simulate that is, of course, to take someone, put it in there and try to do it in a different way like that. Made sense, but it was just like, oh, nah, that's a bit crazy. But they were literally saying, oh, it's really quite like that. Oh, it's really quite like that. Oh, it's really quite like that. Trells is not necessarily all that subtle.
Right.
I mean, even before the Risette prosthetics or whatever is going on exactly with Risette, we'll find out. We did a quest that we were literally talking about that as a subject, but of course in regards to a certain armless dad of Laura. Mr. Arcade.
Alrighty.
And it was like, okay, it's literally talking about this right now because it's about to drop that on us. And there was stuff that Risette said during that as well that was like, I love Trails for that. I love Trails. I love Trails. But just like that level of stuff. It's not left field when you think about it. It's great. Anyway, let's move on. Let's start sweeping and move on. All the way to the artisanal district, because we're starting at the Institute after all. We'll see exactly where we can go to. Probably the entire town. Oh no, we're stuck here for now. We've got to go out in order. Sweep time. I just can't wrap my head around everything we've had over the past few days. It's our job as staff to keep thinking about the future, but what the heck is going on anymore? It's just too crazy to tell. First the attack itself, now in the aftermath, the whole city's on lockdown. I guess with the Risette thing as well when I think about it, we had the one instance of her introduction where she was doing absolutely crazy stuff that it really impressed us. And then it proceeded to not have her do any of that for like quite a long time after. To like not necessarily hide it, but let you wait on it, I guess. It's got pace into it, hasn't it? You're impressed going like, oh man, she must be ridiculous, but there was an actual reason behind it. What kind of world are we living in now where universities come under attack? The library didn't suffer much damage at least. Physical books are unharmed too. My concern is more a digital library. Digital books are fragile in their own right. I can only hope we didn't lose our online archives. Yes. I never thought some horror like that would befall our institute. The world these days, I swear. I'm relieved that my students are okay. Kay and Gimbat especially. How's a kid supposed to study after all of this? I don't know what to do. It's just awful, all of it. Professor Callahan will be deeply missed. Just a tragedy what happened to him. I mean, he seems pretty set up now. I was really hoping I could talk it out of him, ask what was bothering him, but I can't anymore. He's just gone. The real thing about the whole him being an AI personality now reveal is just like, you also go like, oh crap, he's definitely gonna figure out how to make nukes in very short order. That's literally, like, that's the overriding thing of it. It's not so much, oh, he's an AI now. It's like, oh shoot. He has everything he needs now. other way, the other way. I guess yesterday was rough. Here, I got you something. Hope it helps. Oh, thank you. Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. The company too. I'm more worried about all the damage to the Institute. I genuinely believe the work you're doing with them, whether it's comms or hollows, will really shape Calvard's future. So I say, have a little confidence in your research, yeah? It's a lot more impressive than you give it credit for. Really? Thank you. That does make me feel a little better. I'm glad she looks to be alright, or physically at least. I have no idea how she's holding up mentally. But I hope she'll get through this. She's my co-worker and I want to see her happy again. If you were AI, you don't get distracted by sleeping with other biological needs? Not really. The main thing I was thinking when that was going, like, again, he was being an AI, Melchior was talking to him. I was like, well, can you really honeypot that guy now? He's an AI. He doesn't have anything to get an end away with. I mean, it doesn't mean, like, attraction can't be up here, you know what I mean? But, like... yeah, does that strategy work on him anymore? I don't know. He really shouldn't be worrying about me, but I'm kind of happy that he is. I need to make it up to him with my research. It's all a bit baffling. Also, every time we face Melchior, the reason I call him stupid is because, unlike, I guess, a lot of our time with Ouroboros in the past, I feel genuinely menaced by Melchior. More so than the others. The other people who are part of this affair. Melchior does seem like on a whim he might kill you. Which, of course, we lost from Ouroboros. He's got a job and he's doing stuff, but it just seems like he might just go, screw it, and kill you. It's just the feeling I get the whole time. And of course he was more powerful than he really was. We always knew that, really. I still can't believe that really happened yesterday. Even the police and the bracers were overwhelmed. I'm trying not to let it get to me as a security officer. What's done is done. We have to help get things back under control now. I guess I'd say that Melchior's a bit rabid. He enjoys it. You don't want to mess with someone who enjoys it. Those filthy mechanical monsters, they stole my darlings from me. Oh, Stephanie, Liam, Sally, my poor babies. Even Shirley, my ultra-rare slime. I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into cultivating her, and they just struck her down. Oh no, Mushroom Man. And growing Fungus Man. This guy's still holding his tacos. What a disaster yesterday turned out to be. I wasn't expecting those mechanical monsters to start rampaging through the place. I just bolted without a second thought. Still had my knife and my frying pan in my hands. Now, if everybody looks at me like I'm some kind of psycho, it's just silly, I tell you. Come on, I'm still the same old lunch lady. If you want something to eat, just let me know. You gotta keep your energy up in times like these, you know?
What'll it be for today?
Also, Van calling Ferry's brother one of the strongest Jaegers is quite a sell. And you're like, oh, okay. I will keep notice of that. I just started thinking that she was looking a little sunnier lately, and then the Institute came under attack. She's being pushed to the breaking point, the poor girl. I want to try and support her however I can. She had a bright future ahead of her. It would be a travesty if she were to lose that spark.
Right.
By the way, at the start of the stream, you said that something got confirmed about Risette because of the title screen. Was the cyber thing the thing? Yeah, pretty much. It's more the fact that we're going to learn something about her more, and it will just come to a head of what's going on. It's just seeing her image on the title screen was going like, okay, this isn't even her chapter. This is Katla's chapter, but Risette's on the front. So we knew, from that you go, okay, here we go. Something's going to be told to us. It was bad enough hearing that the professor was abducted, and then we got attacked too. Why does this keep happening? Just one horrible thing after another. I just want to do my research and get my degree. What do I even do now? I feel like I don't belong here.
Right.
Which then just means that whatever's going... let's put it this way. We're probably going to learn something... Okay. I feel like the cast, right? We're not doing much for a sweep. We're talking more about the game now. But cool, crazy stuff happened, which makes us very reflective and thinking. At the moment, we still don't know what is up with Van, right? I mean, we know very little about Agnès' thing, but we can kind of get into a little bit. There's obviously stuff that's happened in Fairy's past as well, and her family, that we're not allowed to know. Aaron's we've had kind of like come out with the whole tyrant thing, right? So what it's looking like is that every single party member we have has some kind of trauma, some kind of horrible event that has shaped them. Something in the past that is molding them and pushing them together. So it feels like what we are assembling is somewhat of a, I used to say broken group because of what recently happened. But people that need people, that have had crap happen and crap go down. Trauma buddies the team. Might be what's taking place here.
Did you hear?
Sorry, but we've got the crime scene blocked off here to preserve the evidence. If you have any questions or concerns, you can direct them to the local police department. See, with Aaron, of course, his trauma was recent. Fairy seems to be a family issue that's hidden that we're going to start getting into. And then you've got to ask what our other characters have going on, you know? I mean, Van's past is very being hidden. Alright, I guess we're going to check out Risette finally after the sweep and talk. Sorry for the long discussion. Welcome. If you're looking for Risette, she's in the room to your right. The associate professor is with her. She's through the worst of it now, at least. I've been in there helping her throughout the day. I never expected we'd be putting her research to the test so soon, especially not under these circumstances.
So...
let's go on in.
Oh, hello there.
I hope everything went well.
Thanks. Sounds like you pulled an all-nighter, huh?
Looks like Zeros is up and running again. Fortunately for us, the damage for him wasn't so bad. I just wish I could say the same about Risette. Putting her back to the way she was is going to take a while.
Please, don't be so downhearted. The first-rate care you've been giving me has stabilized my vitals a considerable amount.
I'm relieved to hear that.
Have you spoken to Mr. Thorndyke?
Did before coming here, yeah. He's as much of a questionable character as I was expecting. Their chief of security is the same old standoffish grump, too. You'd think it'd kill him to put on a smile.
That's just how they are, I'm afraid.
It's fine, you know. You don't need to force yourself to speak.
For what it's worth, her life isn't in any danger here. The medicine you helped me with yesterday seems to have been working wonders.
She's right. It has really made this easier for me.
Good to hear. We sure didn't think it'd end up being used on you when we took that job on.
The artificial limbs that Mr. Thorndyke brought with him are compatible with her too. That's not to say you shouldn't take it easy. Anything that involves the nervous system is a heavy burden on the body. The best thing you can do for yourself right now is get lots and lots of rest.
I will. Thank you. Though, I truly am sorry for not being able to support you all when you need it most.
Don't sweat it. We can take things from here. You just kick back and relax. Next time you wake up, you can bet we'll have good news to share. And a hell of a big bonus, too.
I'll have to look forward to that then, won't I? Follow your hearts and act as you always do. And everything will be fine.
Sorry, but I'd like to ask you something. Why? Why did you risk your life to save mine? No one should have to put themselves through something like this over someone like me.
It was because you were just so dazzlingly radiant in that moment, I suppose.
What?
You have so many people who care about you, and you care about them just as much in return. To someone who's lost her bonds, memories, and even body, the sight was almost blinding. I'm a little jealous of all you have, if I'm to tell the truth. So please, treat yourself like an irreplaceable treasure. Not just for you, but for those who love you too.